Have you ever stopped to wonder, how would a historian from the year 3000 describe you? Not your name or your job title. They wouldn't look at your deep feelings. They wouldn't care about your private dreams. They would only look at your patterns, the actual physical habits of your day. The truth is, we are blind to ourselves. We see a life of meaning and logic. The future sees a series of strange rituals. They might call us the creatures of the boxes. I sat in traffic yesterday afternoon. I watched the rain hit the glass. I looked at the human in the car next to me. He was screaming at a plastic wheel. He was completely alone in his metal shell. He was moving 3 inches every minute. In that moment, it hit me. To an outsider, we look completely insane. An observer wouldn't see a commute. They would see a mandatory slow-motion migration, a migration across a gray paved landscape. We wake up in a large concrete box. We wrap our bodies in soft fabrics. We move into a smaller metal box. We burn ancient liquids to travel. We sit in long, silent lines on the road. Thousands of humans in a perfect row. We stare straight ahead at a red light. We never speak to the people inches away from us. Then we enter a medium-sized office box. We sit in a smaller fabric-covered box. We stare at a glowing rectangle for 8 hours. Then we move back to the metal box, then back to the first concrete box. I wonder if we have outsmarted ourselves. We think we are the peak of evolution, but we built a world where our bodies are obsolete. Then there is the glow ritual. Every human carries a thin slab of glass. It is rectangular and filled with artificial light. We feed it with our undivided attention. I've seen people ignore a real orange sunset just to look at a digital version of one on their slab. To the future, these aren't just tools. They are sacred, addictive icons. They dictate our every emotion and thought. We react to tiny vibrations in our pockets like they are urgent messages from the gods. We can talk to anyone on the entire planet, yet we use that power to avoid our neighbors. I've noticed the physical signature of our era. It is called the hunch. Head down, neck curved, eyes fixed on the blue light. We are never alone. Yet we have never been more isolated. Nobody talks about this, but we have begun to value pixels over breath. It is a digital ghost haunting our physical world. I almost didn't share this next part. It makes me feel guilty too. Think about the circle of effort. Our ancestors ran because they had to catch food. Survival was tied to physical movement. Now we sit in padded chairs all day. Our bodies are screaming to move. So we created a bizarre, expensive solution. We pay a monthly fee to enter a room filled with heavy iron and moving belts. We run on plastic tracks that go nowhere. We lift heavy iron pieces up just to put them back down in the same spot. I went to a gym last Tuesday and just watched. I saw 20 people staring at a gray wall. They were sweating, gasping, and straining. They were producing no food. They were building no shelter. They were moving nowhere. It is a massive circular waste of energy, a ritual to fix a problem that we created. It is the desperate behavior of a trapped species. And then there is the symbol worship. We trade the most limited thing we have, our time, our heartbeats. We trade them for digital numbers on a screen. We call it making a living, but we are the only species that pays to live here. An observer would find this hilarious. We have enough food to feed everyone. We have enough shelter to house everyone, but we won't share it with our own kind, not unless the other person has enough points. We turn survival into a high-stakes accounting game. I saw something even stranger in the park. I watched a man follow a small furry animal. The dog stopped to sniff a dead tree. The man waited patiently in the freezing cold. The dog finally did its business. The man carefully picked it up in a plastic bag. He carried that bag for 5 long blocks. He looked for a very specific green bin. If you saw this from a spaceship, you would assume the dog was the supreme master. The dog goes wherever it wants. The dog eats for free and sleeps all day. The human follows behind and cleans the mess. It's a beautiful, confusing partnership. We think we are defined by our politics. We think we are defined by our careers, but a species is only defined by its actions. History does not record your secret intentions. It only records your daily habits. Look at how we treat nature now. We stay inside our climate-controlled boxes. Then we drive the metal box to a park. We walk for 20 minutes to get away from it all. We take a photo of a tree with our slab. We show the photo to our friends on their slabs. Nature is now just a background for us, a background for our digital performances. We are always telling the universe who we are, not with our deep thoughts, but with our choices. Think about the ritual of the supermarket. We enter a giant hall of artificial suns, thousands of colorful plastic packages. Everything inside is dead and preserved. We push a metal cage on 4 wheels. We gather items we did not grow. We give a plastic card to a stranger. Then we leave with our plastic treasures. We call it convenience. The future might call it sensory deprivation. We live in the most connected time in history, yet we feel like strangers in our own streets. We have replaced the village with a feed.
We have replaced the fire with a screen. We are always teaching the world who we are. Every sound we make in the silence, every habit we keep in the dark, every time we choose a slab over a human face, we are writing our history in real time. We think we are the main characters of Earth, but we are just a loud, confused pattern. Our normal will one day be a myth. Once there was a people who lived in boxes. They worshipped a flickering blue light. They ran on belts that went nowhere. It sounds like a dark legend, doesn't it? But it is just a normal Tuesday afternoon. That realization should humble us deeply. It should make us walk a little slower. It should make us put the slab down for a moment. We are a fascinating, fragile pattern. We are playing our parts on a very small stage. Actions are the only language that survives the ages. What is your story telling the world today? What pattern are you leaving for the future? I want you to go to the comments right now. Tell me one normal thing humans do, something that would confuse an alien observer. Tell me about our strange clothes. Tell me about our weird foods. Tell me about why we cut our grass. I'll be there, reading every single one. I'll be staring at my own glowing slab too, trying to make sense of our species. That is the only way we learn to change, by looking at the strange truth of being human, realizing we are far more interesting than we think, even when we are just sitting in a box, waiting for the red light to turn green, waiting for the weekend to finally arrive, when the only thing that actually matters is right here in this second, in the breath you just took into your lungs, in the real world outside the glass window, in the ancient language of being alive. We are the pattern. We are the mystery, and the future is watching us. Don't forget to look back at them. Put the slab down. Walk outside the box. See the world for what it really is, before the light fades, before the pattern ends, before we become the ancestors that the future tries to understand. What will they say about you? Make it a story worth telling. Make it a pattern worth keeping, because the clock is always ticking and the boxes are waiting. But for now, you are here, and that is enough.